Watkins Glen. So Watkins Glen is located in western New York in the Finger Lakes region. It's an area of rolling hills and farmland. I was really psyched to finally come to this course because it's known as a high horsepower course that's great for heavy Mopars. So this course comes in two different configurations, a long track and a short track. The long track includes the boot in the lower right hand corner. The short track eliminates that and just goes straight from turn 5 to turn 10. NASCAR runs the short track when they come to this course. One nice thing about this course that's hard to tell just by looking at the map is that there's a lot of elevation changes. And that makes for some really fun driving. It really changes the whole dynamic of turns and everything when you're going on hills like that. So let's take a run down the course. So here I'm starting down at turn 11. The pit area is on the right. This is the main start and finish line area. So now this comes to turn 1. It's a slightly downhill right-hand turn. Now what's really deceiving here is that this really is a steep downhill run. And you come into turn 2 here and you start going uphill to what they call the S's. Now this is my favorite part of the track. These are just such nice even turns. You really get a good groove coming through these turns, and because they're uphill they're easier to navigate. Now this leads into the back straight. This is where you get your highest speed on the course. The challenge with this area though is that it ends in something called the bus stop, which is this little hook that goes to the right. Now I had some trouble with this. You may have seen in the intro, and I'll go into that in more detail later on in the video. But when you come out of the bus stop, you come into a long sloping downhill turn on turn 5. Up here is the next place I want to stop. If you go right, that's the short track. That's where NASCAR goes. It leads to a long straightaway all the way to turn 10. But I was running a long track today, so I'm going down the boot area. Now this is a very tough turn because you're really going downhill a lot, and that really changes the whole metric of the turn. Now this comes into turn 7, which is the only full switchback turn, 180-degree turn. It is helped by the fact that it is going uphill, so it makes it easier to navigate. This turn here down at the base of the boot, or the straightaway down at the base of the boot, you can get some nice speeds up here. You can get over 100 miles an hour. You come into the heel on turn 8, slight downhill. And now when you're coming up here to turn 9, you're actually joining back in with the short track. So it comes into the straightaway that NASCAR would usually run. And you're approaching turn 10 here, and this turn is entirely different when you're running the short track because you're carrying a lot of speed from that straightaway. But on the long track, it's not nearly as fast. So now we're coming up to turn 11. You'll see the entrance to the pit area on the right. And that's pretty much a summary of the track. So this first run, I'm going in 500 horsepower mode. Try to get the hang of the track a little bit. It's a very high horsepower, very fast track. And this car can easily get out from under you. Depending on how I feel, I may put it into 707 mode. Reset my gas mileage counter, see what kind of gas mileage I get on a track day. The first 2 laps are under a yellow flag, so it's just to get a feel for the track. Here we go. Okay, we're going to jump right to run 4 here because runs 2 and 3, it was raining, and it just makes for horrible video recording, and you have to go relatively slow. So here you can see that the track was drying up. Now I did have this vet behind me, and you got to show him the Hellcat bigness on the straightaways, because that's where the strength is. So I was pulling away as we accelerated. Coming into turn 1 here, I'm behind this Winged Warrior. And his exhaust was straight piped. It was really obnoxious. So I gotta get out from behind this guy because his exhaust sounded like my ass on the night before a colonoscopy. You older guys will understand that. So the guy's giving me the pass by, fortunately. So I was able to pass him. I got up to about 135 on the back straight on my best run. So here I'm coming up against this Mazda Miata, and you see a lot of these on the course. They have very low horsepower, but they're extremely light, and they really do make for good track cars. They actually, if you want to rent a car for one of these events, they rent the Mazda Miatas out. So this guy passes me on. I got a little bit excited there, waiting to pass him. And slipped out a bit. So here you'll see this vet. This is actually a Z01, 650 horsepower. This guy was really fast, but I had a lot of fun with him all day. He was parking next to me, and we chatted a lot. And so I let him pass here because it's really more fun to be behind somebody and to see where they're going and to watch their turns and how they're taking the corners and to try to keep up with them. It's more fun doing that than to have somebody riding behind you. So you can see that he's keeping his own here on this straightaway. He's got 650 horsepower, a lower center of gravity, and about 1,000 pounds less weight. So, but I was really surprised that I was able to keep up with him pretty well through a lot of these turns. Coming back on the boot again, jumping ahead a little bit. We're going down the boot straight between turn 7 and 8. We get the point by from this little Mazda. And that's the thing, on these courses, you cannot pass unless you get a point by. So, jumping ahead again a little bit, things get a little interesting here. I'm passing this Alfa, right behind this Alfa Romero, and in front of him is the Z01 and then an M5 BMW that just came out of the pit. So the Alphas they're good track cars, not a lot of horsepower, but they do handle really well. But this guy gives me the point by, so I can get up there behind the fast guys. So I had a lot of fun hanging with these guys. Both high horsepower cars. The M5 has forced air, so that's a very fast car also. Good handling. So I was riding with these guys for a while, and I was keeping up with them. You can say that Mopars don't like to turn, but they were doing fine on this course. This course is just made for heavy Mopars, for high horsepower cars. So here we're coming down into turn 6, jump ahead a bit. Now we're on the toe and turn 7. You can see as we accelerate here that these guys are no slouches in the horsepower department. We get stuck behind this Not even sure what this gray car was, but he let us pass pretty quick. Looks like somebody got lost on their way to go get some groceries in this car. So we're coming up to turn 11 here, and the M5 gives the point by to the vet, and the vet passes him on the straightaway, but I didn't have enough room to pass him. And again, that M5 is a fast car, so gotta wait a bit. Heading downhill. Turn 2 up through the S's. What a nice clip. And you can see that it's starting to rain again here, which is unfortunate because it really does change the whole dynamic of the course. And this is also one of the reasons I had a little trouble up here. So the M5 gives me the point by, but he did it late. He should have pointed me by right at the end of that turn. Did it late, so I was carrying a lot of speed into the bus stop, and I get sideways here. Fortunately, I recovered, and I didn't go into the grass, but that was a little bit hairy. So now we're just about towards the end of this run. Going around turn 7 in the boot, and if you look on the left up here, you'll see the flagman waving the checkered flag, which means that you got to slow down and get in the pit area. So here we are approaching the pit. Turn in, and that's pretty much it. Now, I would recommend that anybody put this track on their bucket list. It is just a fantastic track. It's just a lot of history. It's a beautiful hilly track with some great turns, a lot of speed, and it's just really cool to be at this track with, you know, all the history and everything. So here I'm going to take a walk through the garage where the NASCAR guys actually go when they're running. So I'm going to wrap it up here, but thanks for watching, guys. And again, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you ever do want to go on a road course, I would highly recommend you make the trip to Watkins Glen. It's fantastic.